of George Feeney, 26-year-old from Hartlepool, England, located 300 miles from London on the northeast coast of England. Feeney 16-8, only 7 by knockout. However, he's won 6 of his last 8, 5 by the knockout route. His last fight back in February, lost a 10-round decision to the WBA lightweight champion Ray Mancini. Feeney won the British lightweight title by stopping Ray Cattouse in the 14th round. He had only 2 fights in 1982. The other an 8-round decision over veteran Ken Buchanan. Prior to the Buchanan fight, Feeney was knocked out in the 6th round. Was not that well regarded before the victory over Cattouse, and his performance against Mancini, which was well received throughout Europe.
Well worth the respect that he earned. He got Mancini in trouble in the 8th round, and it was tough sledding to the 10th. Even Mancini said that was one of his toughest fights afterwards.
And Howard Davis, who last fought February 27th in Atlantic City, 10-round decision over Tony Baltazar, although Davis was knocked down twice. Davis put down by left hooks in the 5th and 8th round. His one loss, that 15-round decision, fighting for the title, losing to Jim Watt in Glasgow, Scotland, back in June of 1980.
Davis, the master boxer. Very few fighters boxing today have the moves of Howard Davis. However, his rap is that he is unwilling to mix it up. He's so slick at defense that he punches and moves before his punches take an effect.
And so that punching power has been suspect, along with the chin.
There you go.
And he's been called boring because of his style.
He's the exact antithesis of Nino LaRocca that we just saw. LaRocca's all style and grace and flash, whereas Howard Davis has a lot of grace, but he has no excitement. There's no fire there.
Howard Davis just looks to outbox and outpoint his opponent.
Well, when you can box that good, there's really no sense in taking any punishment. Unfortunately, the public likes to mix it up style better than this beautiful defensive style of fighting that Howard Davis has.
And the crowd here very quiet, in contrast to what took place some 20 minutes ago when Nino LaRocca stopped American Bobby Joe Young in round 8. Of course, LaRocca was cueing the crowd, waving with one hand, looking for the cheers, and he certainly did receive them.
That's like trying to follow a Muhammad Ali fight. There was nothing you could put on the card that could follow Muhammad Ali. Once he fought, everybody wanted to go home.
Nice combination by Davis.
Davis more aggressive this round than he's been in the first rounds. Usually he runs around a lot. He's standing right in front of Feeney, not respecting his punching power at all. Not doing what we spoke of, punching and running. He's punching and staying there.
Howard Davis made the point the other day, was not impressed by Ray Mancini's showing against George Feeney, so he would like to fare better as he looks to the possibility of a title fight against Mancini. Of course, Kenny Bogner may have something to say about that because he will go against Mancini in South Africa late in May.
Right now, Howard Davis giving a nice little boxing lesson to Feeney, who's short of boxing style and class, but long on heart.
And as we saw in his bout against Mancini, Feeney, a very slow starter. That will do it for round 1. This is round 2. Pretty between rounds in the corner of George Feeney. He was told, well, if Howard Davis gives you that bob and weave, aim for the chest.
Well, it's a good piece of advice. When a guy can feint as good and move his head as good as Howard Davis can, then the best thing you can do is aim for something that's stationary. And that's right at the breastbone there. Try to aim your jabs there and see what happens after that.
All right, the referee, Angelo Paletti of Italy. Judges, Arthur Mercanti, who rarely serves as solely the judge. He was the referee earlier in the Nino LaRocca Bobby Joe Young bout. Mercanti and Giuseppe Ferrara of Italy. are the judges. 10-point must system in effect, handled by the referee and the two judges. The bell does not save the fighter except in the final round. 3 knockdown rule has been waived. And the standing 8 is in effect, although the referee, Paletti, does not believe in the standing 8. Made that clear before the bout, as did Arthur Mercati. And both said they would not use it.
Angelo Paletti is a big believer in scoring even rounds, Aver. He is the permanent holder of the Hall of Fame award for decisiveness. During the first Duran-Leonard fight, he scored 10 even rounds in a 15-round fight. That's the world record.
For diplomacy.
Ooh, good right hand by Howard Davis. Again, Feeney starting slow, just like he did with Mancini in February.
Past the halfway mark, round 2, scheduled for 10. Howard Davis, who won the gold in the 76 Olympics, landing with that left hook.
Oh, for people that are boxing purists, you got to love Howard Davis. I understand he's not exciting. I understand you can't cheer wildly for him, but boy, everything he does is just so slick and smooth. The way he moves, the way he punches to the body and to the head. Some say with the right management, some say with the right heart, some say with the right combination of things, he would have been a great champion. But what happens outside the ring sometimes is just as important as what happens inside in a champion's career. He has one great chance against Boom Boom Mancini. Should he get past Feeney, and should Mancini get past Bogdan?
The other question concerning Howard Davis, and it's been asked many times in recent months, has he lost interest in boxing? He did go into a semi-retirement period, and now is back at it. Said he is back in full gear. Combination by Davis, and that will conclude the second round. And the bell for round 3, and again, George Feeney told in his corner, hey, you better start doing something. You've just given Howard Davis 2 rounds, so let's get started.
He said to him, get in this fight. And of course, we know that that's the way that Feeney fights. But if he starts to make Howard Davis run, as we said at the top of the show, then we're going to see a track meet for the last 5 rounds, because Howard doesn't need to fight. All he can outpoint you just jabbing and moving. Now, this is a typical Howard Davis we were talking about. When he jabs, he doesn't move in with a jab, but he moves back with a jab. In other words, he jabs and moves out of the way. He never gets hit. If he stands there like he did the first 2 rounds, which is a different Howard Davis than I've seen in a long time, then we could have a good, interesting fight, because Feeney will heat up in the next 2 or 3 rounds.
You the boss out there. You the boss. You the boss, baby.
Oh, terrific combination by Davis.
You the boss, champ. You the boss.
And they're screaming for the corner of Howard Davis, you're the boss out there. That certainly captures what is taking place.
No comment needed. When you can land those combinations in those bunches like he can, there's nothing you can do against him.
Howard Davis looking very sharp over these opening rounds. We're halfway through round 3.
Fire him up, John. Fire him up. You the boss, champ. You the boss. There you go. There you go. Back to the world, baby. Come on.
I'll tell you what, if Howard Davis got this fired up for Boom Boom Mancini and wanted to fight this hard with Boom Boom, it would be a superb fight to watch. If he decides to run for 15, it would be a yawner.
And we're less than a minute left in this 3rd round. Howard Davis landing with the triple hook. He's utilizing the entire repertoire and has been on target right throughout. Feeney taking a beating.
The Italian crowd beginning to react, whereas they've been very quiet through the first 2 rounds, beginning to appreciate a workmanlike job done by the very slick Howard Davis.
terrific combination by Davis again. And we're final seconds. Round 3.
Right, aim for that chest. Bing to that chest now. Come on. And don't just throw it right in. You throw it right in. There we are. There we are. Right, over.
26-year-old George Feeney out of Hartlepool, England. Hearing the instructions from manager Denny Mancini and his trainer George Bose. And they are trying to awaken Feeney. A moment ago, Feeney was told by his manager, all right, you're in the ring with Howard Davis. You're in a boxing match. There has been no signs of a fight from you.
I don't think that's quite right. Feeney's trying, but you're looking at a master boxer. If he does this, if he runs around like this, you can't get to him. Look at this.
And Howard Davis with the stutter step move, showing his confidence.
I will say one thing for European audiences. They appreciate beautiful fighting. They like the art of defense. And they can see that with Howard Davis.
Combinations, baby. See the boss.
Howard Davis standing still more than he has in any other fight that I've seen him. Of course, he may not regard Feeney's punching power at all. He's just letting him punch away.
Feeney looking to go on the attack more frequently than the first 3 rounds.
And able to shorten the distance between them so he can get within punching room.
Get on it, John. Get on it.
Davis continues to snap that jab. Nice right hand on the follow.
It's hard to count the punches of Howard Davis. They come so fast when he decides to throw one of those beautiful multi-punch combinations.
Come on, baby. Come on, champ.
Every time I watch Howard Davis, something inside of me says, boy, what could have been, what should have been with Howard Davis.
No way, John.
And what still could be at age 27.
Certainly still could be, but
30 seconds, baby.
you're looking at a guy could be another Sugar Ray Leonard. That's saying something. He had all the moves and all the style in the class. He just, something didn't click inside of him, and it certainly did inside of Sugar Ray Leonard.
And it was Davis, you recall, who came out of the 76 Olympics, voted the most outstanding boxer, getting the nod over people like Sugar Ray Leonard and Michael Spinks. After the sensational amateur career, 4-time New York Golden Gloves champion, and putting on a display of hand speed and foot speed here in San Remo.
The goal.
And George Feeney out for round 5. We're scheduled for 10. The scoring on the 10-point must. And what does the fight doctor scorecard show?
Well, we have a 40-36 fight. Davis taken every round thus far. I don't think there'll be any argument with that with the official judges who love classic boxing. Feeney, his corner continues to exhort him. Now they're dipping into the nationalistic bag. They're saying, show some British fighting spirits. Show some of that bulldog tenacity. Well, tenacity he's got. Style he doesn't.
They were relatively satisfied with the effort back in round 4. Well, the warning by the referee Angelo Bloody for the shove by Howard Davis.
Howard knows every trick in the book.
And a very quiet crowd here in San Remo, Italy.
They do applaud. As Davis gets off these beautiful combinations, they seem to appreciate it, and they applaud politely.
This place was rocking earlier, and the bout telecast on our ringside program. Italian favorite Nino LaRocca stopping American Bobby Joe Young in round 8. Good right hand by Feeney. Oh, combination by Davis.
Well, we've been very fortunate in recent weeks to be able to bring some explosive fights. The Pogler-Collins Fight of the Month in Ring Magazine.
And George Feeney providing some problems for Howard Davis. So again, Feeney, as advertised, the late starter, has come on. He showed some signs in round 4.
Well, he comes and he comes and he comes, and it's all the way to the 10th round with George Feeney. He certainly doesn't take a step backwards. What? Oh, there's a cut. Cut on the eye of Howard Davis. And if it wasn't open, it was open after the referee got through with him. He put a thumb and a finger and opened the cut to look at it.
And Feeney going for the eye with the left hand.
Well, it would certainly be a disaster if that figured into this fight.
But it does change the complexion of this bout. All right, some repair work on the cut and the left eye of Howard Davis as we open up round 6.
It's not much of a cut. They worked on it very, very lightly. They hardly have any Vaseline on it. The gangsters in the gym say he doesn't carry a cut man, he carries a makeup man. But contrary to what is said in gyms, Howard Davis does cut from time to time. Now he's doing his running. This is the Howard Davis of the track meet variety that we see from time to time.
And snapping that left jab. And we're seeing a different George Feeney. He was silent, invisible over the first 3. Showed signs in round 4. Had a good round 5. And showing confidence off the cut. Opened up in the eye of Howard Davis.
And here's where that 17-foot ring comes into play.
Minute gone by, round 6. It is just past 12 midnight here in San Remo, Italy. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, live on NBC's Sports World.
You know what's deceiving about Feeney to me? He doesn't look like he's punching with a great deal of power. But with that little bit of punching zip that he got Boom Boom Mancini in trouble. So he must have something in those fists. This is the Howard Davis that people don't like. Just running around, jumping around, throwing a punch in midair.
And it's Feeney now doing the stalking, looking to cut Davis off.
And no matter what Davis is doing this round has to go to Feeney if he keeps going, because he's chasing him so hard and he's running so hard. If Feeney just throws anything when he gets in close, he can steal his first round of this fight. Now there, he must punch there. In close, he must punch.
Don't play with him, Jeff.
George Feeney, 26 years old, out of Hartlepool, England. Record only at 16-8 with 7 knockouts. His biggest victory to win the British Lightweight Championship by beating Ray Cattouse. And he did fare well against Boom Boom Mancini, although in a losing effort. And that particular effort earned him this bout against Howard Davis. That'll do it for round 6. What about the Referee Angelo Paletti was in the corner of Howard Davis a moment ago. There he is again. Check the eye of Davis.
They don't let you put too much Vaseline on here, and Howard was covered with Vaseline. The referee went over, took the Vaseline off, left some cut stuff still in the cut, which has not reopened as far as bleeding is concerned. I don't know whether this means that Howard, figuring he's so far ahead, can run the rest of the fight. I gave Feeney his first round of the fight that last time.
And the fight doctor scorecard has it 59-55. Davis over Feeney. Around the 10-point bust, scheduled for 10. The scoring handled by the referee and the two judges. Still to come on Sports World, the Grand National Steeplechase from Aintree, England.
Right now, Howard getting off that snapping jab off the movement. Sometimes he leaps in midair. Both feet leave the canvas and he punches. Boxing purists hate to see that happen. You get caught up in midair, there's nowhere to go but on your back. Those jabs are flicking jabs that don't do any damage. You build up points as long as you're not getting hit in return.
Howard Davis landing more consistently in the earlier rounds. No knockdowns to this point. Davis well in command at the start, and now getting him with that left hand.
I think he got tired of running around. He lost that last round. He was really just cruising around. I think he's scared of that cut becoming a factor here and just wants to blow some of these middle rounds off.
Good left hand again by Davis. Under a minute left. Round 7.
The difference in hand speed is so obvious it's painful. Howard Davis has landed a punch by the time Feeney is thinking of throwing his punch.
Tony Baltazar said after his bout with Davis, so Baltazar put Davis down twice, although Davis won by decision. Baltazar said Davis has a tendency to drop his hands when he punches, and he spotted it, took advantage with the left hook.
He's one of the very few to do so.
And we're final seconds, 7th round. And this is round 8 back in San Remo, Italy. Howard Davis on the left, George Feeney on the right. Howard Davis has outclassed George Feeney most of the way.
The difference with Howard Davis, I think, and other classic fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard is the ability to finish. I think Sugar Ray by this time would have been pressing on the gas to finish it off, whereas Howard has an inexhaustible supply of patience. He apparently is willing to go the 10 and take an easy decision rather than pressure and go for a knockout.
Well, the punching power of Davis has been questioned. He claims he's been working on his punching power, if that is possible, but points out that his forte is boxing.
And so it is. To be a puncher, you can't be a fine defensive fighter. You got to be moving back and moving away as Howard Davis does, and that robs you of your punch. Every once in a while, you got to stand and fight. Sugar Ray proved it. Muhammad Ali proved it. Sugar Ray Robinson proved it. Who could fight a beautiful classic fight and then stop and be a devastating aggressor.
And here's Feeney on the attack, and he hears it from the crowd. Got the left hook in.
Crowd always loves an underdog, especially when it's been so thoroughly outclassed over the first 7 rounds.
Right hand by Davis that stunned Feeney. And we're less than a minute left. Round 8. Good combination by Davis. Awakened by that flurry by Feeney a moment ago.
He certainly woke up Howard Davis, who's been punching with great accuracy and rapidity.
30 seconds here. Hit with the pipe. Right down the pipe, baby. Right down the pipe. 26. Come on, get it back. Get it back. Your turn, champ. Your turn. Come on. Your turn, champ. Your round. Let's go. Hit with the pipe. Take it from him, baby. Take it from him.
So another decisive round for Howard Davis. And it's on to round 9 in San Remo, Italy. Howard Davis on the left, George Feeney. His opponent now on the left of your screen. George Feeney, a soccer player in his youth, played for his hometown team, the Hartlepool England Rovers. An Army reservist. He's made 7 parachute jumps. Feeney is married with 4 children, all girls, ages 7, 4, 2, and 8 months. The kind of colored information that one needs in a ho-hum.
Especially in the 9th round. You know what kind of a fight this is if you're getting that in the 9th round. It leads you to wonder. I'm sitting here wondering, what can Mancini have left if Feeney gave him such a tough fight in February, and yet he can't come close to Howard Davis here. Howard's virtually pitching a shutout. Except for that 1 round that Feeney got in the shots because Howard Davis decided to rest. He has done what he wants to with it. So now, when you stop to look at their performance against Feeney, you have to think Davis is a pretty good shot against Mancini.
On the other hand, Mancini is a different style fighter. He was coming off of the tragedy of Duk Koo Kim. And you had to wonder with also entertaining so many of his family and friends, if his mind was on boxing. He had a contingent from Youngstown here to take in the fight and also tour the country. He had hundreds of people from Sicily who came down. So I think there are other factors. I don't know if you can measure Davis's performance against Mancini's.
Well, we'll soon know about Boom Boom's intentions when he fights Wagner in South Africa, because that will test him. And he will have to fight to retain his title against Wagner. Right now, the pace has not changed. Howard Davis having his way with Feeney, brave, but not in the class of Howard Davis.
And coming up later on here on Sports World, over 35 horses and their jockeys competing in the historic British Racing Classic, the Grand National Steeplechase from Aintree, England. That'll be later on here on Sports World.
Now you can feel the frustration of Feeney. He just doesn't know what else to do. There's no way he can get Howard to stop so he can fight with him. And when he does stop, as he goes to throw a punch, 3, 4, 5, and 6 punches come his way by Howard Davis.
Come on, that's the pipe, baby. Pipe, come on. There you go.
Woo! So this 9th round is history. Well, again, unless George Feeney is able to come up with a surprise in this 10th round, this will be a bout that people look at, and they look at the record book and they say, well, that is, unless Davis knocks him out, they'll say, well, he went 10 rounds with Howard Davis, and that'll look much more impressive when you see it on paper than what actually took place here in the ring.
Well, he's from a tough, hard part of England. The very fact that he fought twice on American television has taken home enough dollars to make his life a lot easier with a wife and 4 children, and has fought 2 class fighters in his career, has made Feeney at least go home with the satisfaction of knowing he went 10 with 2 of the best that America has produced.
Want the ages of those children? Freddie, I have it right here.
I think you gave it once before. I want to know his draft status after he jumped out of the airplane 7 times.
Going home, champ.
And we're a minute gone by. 10th and final round.
Come on, no wait, champ.
Howard Davis from Glen Cove, Long Island, now living in Dix Hills, Long Island. He's won his last 9 bouts. He's 22-1. And only loss in the championship fight against Jim Watt in Scotland back in June of '80. And that loss to Watt led to semi-retirement by Davis. Fought only once in 18 months. He attributed that to management problems.
He did have a lot of management. He couldn't decide who should manage him, and there was conflict with his father and his managers, and it was just a mess there for a while. He's finally straightened it all out to satisfaction and apparent satisfaction of the combating parties, and now he's back to fighting.
6 punches, champ. 6 punches.
Howard's father, Howard Davis Sr., in the corner of his son. And all was not lollipops and roses between Howard Davis's new manager, Ed Gersh, and Howard's dad. There's Davis looking to apply finishing touches. As we approach the end of this final round, Davis going for the knockout.
Oddly enough, that's exactly where Feeney wants him, because Feeney just wants to get in his shot, and that's the only way he can do it, to pay the price, to take those 4, 5, 6 punches and punch.
And we approach 15 seconds left in the bout. So Howard Davis with a paint job on George Feeney. And it will be a clear-cut decision for Davis. We'll be back with the decision right after we pause for these words. Back in San Remo, Italy, we're set for the decision, so let's go to the ring.
Attenzione, diamo il punteggio della giuria. Arbitro, signor Poletti. Del 100, Feeney 90. Giudice, signor Mercante. Del 100. Feeney 90.
Arthur Mercati, one of the judges, scoring at 100 to 90 for Howard Davis. The referee, Paletti, 100 to 90 for Davis. And the other judge, Giuseppe Ferrara, 100 to 91. So,
All right, go get Davis, quick.
devastating victory for Howard Davis, outpointing George Feeney using the hand speed and foot speed. No knockdowns in the bout, but clear-cut victory for Howard Davis. Let's go to the ring. Here's Ferdy.
Howard, a pleasure to see you work. You're a master. That's 10 rounds of a workout.
Yeah, he's very tough. I didn't expect him to be that tough.
Well, in the first few rounds, it seems like you got down off your running around and got really into the fight. You know, that's the kind of fight if you make with Mancini, would be a wildly exciting fight. On the other hand, there's the running Howard Davis, which no one can catch. I mean, how would you fight a Mancini?
Well, Mancini, I would box and punch him. The same way I did with Feeney. First Feeney, then Mancini. Before I say a few things, I'd like to say hello to my 3 children. Diara, Daya, and Anika. Dad'll be home pretty soon.
You're entitled to that because you fought a beautiful fight. It was 10 rounds of a beautiful boxing exhibition. Everyone that loves classical boxing loves to see you fight because you fight in that style that satisfies the purist.
Well,
thank you again for being on NBC.
Thank you very much.
And we hope to see you soon. Thank you, Howard Sr. Back to Marv at ringside.
Today on Sports World.
Ladies and gentlemen,